Hi, I'm ZIiad Lehouimel, and I was in YFT in 2019.
And when you come to campus, ZIiad, what kind of feelings do you get? What are your emotions as you come back to campus here at Youth & Grow?
It's very homey. You know, it just, when I first got here, I was like, wow, this is an amazing campus, an amazing environment to grow in. So first impressions was amazing.
And it's pretty close to where you grew up. Could you tell us a little bit about your story, where you grew up and how you grew up, and what brought you to Youth for Tomorrow?
Right, I grew up in Manassas Park. It's like 20 minutes from here. Uh, I moved a lot when I was a kid, so I didn't really have stability in school. I never thought I could, actually graduate. I never had people older than me graduate and show me the way. So at that time, it was hard for me, you know? So when I eventually got here and was given the opportunity for a stable school environment and just everybody here, it really did help me out.
What were your first impressions when you arrived on campus? Again, it probably looked like home because it's just a stone's throw away from Manassas.
Yeah, yeah. And no, it looked like an environment where I can actually, grow and be the best that I can be. It wasn't those types of environments that you would find, negative influences. Everybody here was very hands-on and really tried to help you whatever the problem was. So amazing.
What were your emotions when you got here? Was it a point that you couldn't wait to get out, was there an adjustment period for you? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, there wasn't a bit of an adjustment period. I was kind of nervous, I didn't want to mess up, this opportunity I was given. But at the same time, I had to be on my P's and Q's, there's rules here that you got to follow, and obviously, if you don't follow them, you can't be here. But that adjustment period was, me trying to follow the rules and learning everybody's names. But other than that, it's a good transition.
What are some of the things you learned when you were here, maybe outside of academics? We'll talk a little bit about academics and some other things in a second, but what are some of the basic things you learned here?
Uh, at the top of my head, I can name probably three, I think. This is gonna sound silly, but one of them is actually how to eat at a proper, dinner table. You know how like you have like 8, 10 silverware, and you go from the top to the sides and then in. There's also how to build a resume, how to actually hold a job. Like, it's just the stuff that you need in the real world. They help you with that here. So it at the top of my head, those are the three I could probably think of.
Did you know you needed help in those areas, or were you at that point maybe thinking you knew it all?
No, see, that's the thing. When I got here, you don't know what you needed it to know until you learn it. So that's what I think, really helped me a lot, because it would be nice to know what you have to learn, right? It's nice, but not knowing what you have to learn, that's the challenge. So with the staff here and the teachers, they let you know like what you need to learn and how to, grow and be successful in your life. So
Who are some of the staff members who you recall fondly who really helped you and helped you become the person you are?
yeah, my therapist for one, Dr. Tinsley. We'd have meetings every week, a couple times a week actually, and just to get to the root of problems. My house parent, Mr. Spates, he was like a second dad to me. He really kept us going, on the straight path, and I really do appreciate him for doing that.
Well, academically, what did you have to work on? Because this is a school as well as it's really a
Right, right.
full service campus,
Yeah.
but the school's an important part of what goes on here. And what did you have to get done?
See, I was kind of on my own with that. I had Apex Learning, so I was online learning. I had my own laptop, and I would finish classes and everything like that, which was really, really productive because it taught me how to really take notes by myself and really prepared me for college and stuff like that. So learning at YFT was way different from learning in regular public schools, because here it's way more hands-on. Instead of like 30 people in a class, you probably have like 15. So the teachers are like way more into like teaching every single student, because there isn't a lot of people in each class, so
Yeah.
it really makes it easier, you know.
When you look back on this time you spent here, and you had your own everybody has their own program, it seems, and you also have a diversity in the type of people that are here, and there's a diversity in the needs that they have. As you look back, what are your thoughts on what Youth for Tomorrow does for the community?
Right. Honestly, it takes away the negative aspect of all communities. Communities, I mean, when I had my housemates, most of them were in gangs, you know, and just running around the streets, and they didn't have a plan for their lives. All they wanted to do was just give their lives to the streets, and that didn't work out. But when they got a chance to come here, it was like a safe environment for people to come and want to be better, because in some environments people want to change, and like those bad environments people want to change, but they're given the opportunity because of their environment. They can't just go outside one day and be like, I have to change. They can't do that. But YFT, it gives them that opportunity to do that, you know, and excel.
It sounds like you're really perceptive while you were here, and as you viewed some of your housemates, did you learn from their learnings, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've learned from a couple of them, because obviously I wasn't. There are some people that came from a background way worse than me, like in a city way worse than Manassas, you know. So there are a couple things I had to learn, you know, in the way of talking to other people, in the way in interacting with other people, you know. But the most important thing that I think that was important was the way you have to carry yourself, you know, because each one of them had a character that I always wanted, you know. They had like rules from themselves that I always wanted. Like, it's the way they carry, you know, they carry themselves. So I think one thing I learned from them is character, you know. I've read a saying before. It said, it was, if you lose your money, you lose nothing. If you lose your health, you lose something. If you lose your character, you lose everything. So that was probably the biggest thing I could remember from them, you know.
And of course, this location is built on godly principles, and there is an emphasis on doing the right thing, isn't there?
Yeah. Of course. Here, there's like this spirituality, you know. Every morning when we wake up, you know, we give thanks and pray to you know, to all this, you know, blessings we have. So, you know, you really feel that when you step onto campus, you know. You feel like, you know, God's here, and you have people that care about you and want you to be the best that you can be. So it's amazing, you
That's
know?
something that a lot of people have told me, that the fact is that people care about them here, and that might be the most important thing, a place where you're loved and cared about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, some kids really don't know what that feels like, you know? And that's why I think they grow up the way they do, and act the way they do, because they never felt the support and love that you can feel here, you know? You can really feel it. When I was in my old school, you really didn't, you know, you don't really feel the support. All there is just grades. If you can't catch up, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you, you know? It's something like that, but over here it's amazing.
Tell us about your life since departure from Youth for Tomorrow. What are some of your goals, and what do you want to accomplish in the coming years?
Oh wow, my goals. So first of all, YFT gave me the opportunity to go to college. You know, I applied for a scholarship and I was accepted. So when I graduated, I was offered a scholarship to go to school. I recently actually changed my mind. I actually want to go to the tech industry. So Youth for Tomorrow was actually able to change my scholarship and give me a way to go to tech school. So I'm going to be starting that this Saturday.
Wow, you must be excited. And what are some of your goals in the coming years? When you get through school, what are some of the things you might want to accomplish?
When I get through school, I would like to have at least a senior position at a tech company. Probably, I know I have to start off small, but you know, that's just where my thinking is that I want to have a senior position somewhere. So, you know, I'm just gonna grind and give it 110%.
Finally, you didn't spend much time here, but I feel a sense of pride from you that you have come through this program, and this is part of your background. Could you speak on that as we wrap it up?
Yeah, of course. I mean, honestly, if it wasn't, and I tell myself all the time, if it wasn't for Youth for Tomorrow changing my thinking, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be able to go to tech school, you know, I wouldn't even been graduated, you know. When I was in high school, before YFT, I really didn't see my future, you know? Like, I had all these other friends that knew what they were gonna do, but I never knew what I was gonna do because of the environment I was in and the people I was hanging out with. But then coming to YFT gave me a path, gave me drive, you know, because I've seen people just like me come and accomplish great things, you know, great things. So if they can do it, I know anybody else can do it.